You know why you're still alive, right? Because I decided to let you off the hook. I decided you're worth surviving in this busy, overworked world. Even after your mistake. Even after you almost made a blunder at the gate and got everyone killed. Choking on the smoke. That's not all you did, huh? Last night was different. To think you'd fall asleep in my arms. Like we're some kind of lovers or something. I don't have work today. You're lucky about that. Those things, yeah, that on the floor. We've been dealing with them every now and then. Part of me wonders if it's just a matter of time before they get what they're looking for. Before our jobs are nothing more than a fucked up mess that no one can fix anymore. You can judge me all you want for how I handled it, and I'll judge you how I want because you almost killed me and failed to kill the right one. Don't you feel that tinge of regret? You owe me. You owe me big time. You can keep saying it's not your fault. That's what those eyes are begging for. Saying with all that, I didn't do it on purpose. Intentions, honey. Intentions. They're bullshit. They don't matter. If my intentions were clear, it wouldn't change the fact that I killed a man. It wouldn't even change the fact that you're standing in front of me. Us both on the edge. They could walk in at any moment. Blame everything on you. You're basically already dead. So, the question is simple, isn't it? Where do we go from here? What do we do, right? You don't even have to ask the question, I can see it. But you ask anyways, and guess what the answer is? You're going to stay low here. If anybody comes to the door, you don't answer it. Unless you want a flamethrower in your face. They might think you're one of those things. And then what? Think my good intentions or bad intentions are gonna save you then? I don't know if that's an attempt at comedy, honey. But now you're my responsibility. Because I chose to let you live. Whatever misguided reason I have, you're gonna have to keep in your mind, wrestling with that. And for what it's worth, that expression alone has me intrigued. Why don't you just say it? You've been so quiet since I killed that thing. Was it really that shocking? That's it. That's your problem. The brutality. To think you'd be that sensitive with a job like that. Hilarious. Do you even realize what you were doing? Taking it that lightly, any one of us who lives in this apartment building could have been your next victim. No, don't give me that. Do you think, for a second, that even if it was a mistake, an honest one, had you let that thing in anyone else's apartment, you think that they would still be alive? Or is it that you've convinced yourself the way I murdered, the way I killed, makes me automatically on their level? On the level of something like this. This bastard. Still, something about the sickening sounds. It just feels like home, doesn't it? Doesn't make me a bad man. Does it, Tuts? If it does, then I'm afraid you've got a very, very bad man who has a little bit of interest in you, and you didn't seem to mind it when I kissed you. Just like this. Once again, you're the one who said you wanted to go along with this. Hell, I didn't have to coax you into any of that, if anything. You were the one who wanted me. And I've seen those eyes all the other times you let us in and out. How was it, looking into the fake's eyes? Still haven't convinced you, huh? Fine by me. Just thought of something funny. But you, when you were standing outside the door, couldn't believe it. Maybe I'm reminiscing about something too soon. It was only a day ago. Regardless, being overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, even when someone owes you their life. What do you think I feel? You want to tell me? Was that part of your game? You're planning to escape? I can kind of see it in your eyes. I want to go back to that lover or whatever you have. Sorry to bring it up to you, but chances are, since the mishap, they're all gone. History. There's a reason why you're alive here. Not a reason I'm gonna tell you, but it makes perfect sense. Everyone needs the Milkman. As stupid as that sounds. There's more to it than that, but let's just say I clean up messes sometimes. Messes that nobody wants to deal with, so they tolerate me. They respect me. They fear me. And every day I get up to the same bullshit. I see the world you don't want to look at outside, baby. I see it with all the muck and the grime and the sweat and the tears. I see the relationships broken, just like you and your Pookie Bear that you miss so much. But you didn't miss too much when you were thinking about me, feeling me. You know, that old stereotype always gets pushed on me. It always comes back that I'm trying to steal someone away, as if I had the time to do that. No, if anything is to blame here, it's the end of a line. I've had a fucking enough. Don't you get fed up with it too? You managed, just barely, to mess up a blunder. Maybe it was a mole in the wrong place. Maybe it was eyes that weren't tired enough. You've seen faces all day long. Your one job that you failed so miserably at. What was you, right? A poor, pitiful soul that had one goal, and one goal only. Match the face, match the record. That mantra you hear in the office, and I'm sure your boss shoved down your throat, and you couldn't even do that. So I'm dying to know, which is it? Am I the monster in your little story? Or am I the savior, the twisted villain made hero, the tired milkman who's been putting up with nothing but the most? What then, darling? Those eyes don't just look at me with fear. There's a desire there. You want to tell me what's going on? Maybe the relationship. The one at home? No. Let's face it, you don't want to talk about that. If you did, you wouldn't look at me with that kind of gaze. That's the eyes of desire, Toots, and that's not changing any time soon. Whether you want to admit it, or I make you. You're set. Not trying to move, not trying to get away. Only excuses would lead you out of the apartment when you know it's a death sentence, and that whoever's waiting for you, well, you're not sure if you want to go back. You're not sure if it's worth it to go back. You see the truth. The truth is something magical, isn't it? When you can see it, it's as obvious as they come. But when you can't, you avoid it like the plague, pretending that it's not the case. Want a cigarette? See, that wasn't so hard. A little honesty goes a long way. And that, darling, was the most honest interaction we've had so far. Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Those eyes flash with a bit of murderous intent for a moment, planning to try and take me out. Is that it? You think the story can just end like that? You think it's so easy to have to kill? Well, I'm flesh and blood just like you. Or am I? Do I bleed blue or red? Or maybe I bleed some other color. Why don't you find out with that knife? It's right there. I wouldn't stop you. Remember the part where I said I was at the end of my line? Why do you think that is? Wrong. Wrong again. Use your imagination. There isn't a clear answer, is there? That you want to say to me right now. Instead, you're trying to pin this all on a happenstance. Trying to justify me in your brain that I'm not some sort of crazy, not a killer at large, trying to find any reason you can believe I'm human, but at the same time, oh, that's the best part. You're also trying to dance around the issue. Why am I attractive to you? Why can't you plunge that knife into my chest? Get out of here and live the life that you think you want to live. But to me, that's obvious, darling. You're fed up too. At the end of your line. Maybe underappreciated. Maybe it's just circumstance, nothing personal. Don't care. Does it really fucking matter? Well, doesn't. Does any of this matter to you? I see. Silence is an answer too. I think you're getting more honest as you find those moments to be silent. You realize that you and I, we're not so different. But there's a lot to this. More than meets the eye. That maybe the world you lived in, with those rose-tinted glasses, was actually nothing but rot. You were fed propaganda just like all of us. Fed everything you thought you wanted to eat because it's all you've known. Meanwhile, you were in a slaughterhouse the whole time. Welcome to my world, baby. Choke on the smoke with me, won't you? That's it. That honesty. I like it. That's the side to you that makes you worth keeping around. Maybe it makes me happier that I let you live, even after you made the biggest blunder in recent history. Maybe it's not just you. Maybe it's me too. Maybe I haven't told you everything, and what then? Do you want to know secrets, even if they make you cry? Even if that secret eats away at your brain? Something you never want to admit about society and the confines of the life you thought you held dear. Life's a fucking lie, darling. It's just how much smoke you pump into your lungs before you realize it. How many dead-end jobs you go picking up the mess for people who are too disgusted, too lazy, too pathetic to do the same. That's what distinguishes us. The people who have already accepted the world's little secrets, the dirty little secrets that nobody can tell you, honey. And why do you think they can't tell you? Oh, I wish it was that easy. They just don't have the stomach to ruin that fantasy behind your eyes. Like ruining Santa Claus for a kid. Nobody wants to do that. But I'm different. I want to see that look you have when you really find out the truth. When every little thing about the world comes unraveling, what then? What happens when your president is one of them? What happens when your loved ones are just sad little copies waiting to eat you? What happens then? Then it all comes to a stop, doesn't it? The lies eventually have their end. But why? Why do we think that? Why do we even care about the truth if it's a shitty one, huh? Because that's just it. Only shitty people like me care about that. Because I'm sick of watching people delude themselves into being happy. It's bullshit. They know it. You know it. And I sure as fuck know it. This isn't utopia. It's dystopia, baby. And you gotta wake up and smell the ashes. Wake up and realize we're not the apex predator that we think we are. And it takes a lot of metal just to match up to these stupid bastards who wear our faces. This is just the beginning, honey. Something tells me you're not ready to face the truth. You wear your heart on your expressions, you know that? Screw it. I'll let you off the hook with that much for now. Just don't fucking forget all of this. I'm telling you this for a few reasons. One, you have value to a bastard like me. Two, you're easy on the eyes. And three, I might just have the tiniest bit of morals left. Even after the things I've done. But honey, no, this doesn't come free. If anything, I'm taking more from you than you'll ever get from me. It's unfair. It's downright terrible. And on a certain level, I feel bad for you. Shattering those dreams. Truth be told, I had them once too. I just wasn't as stupid as you. They shattered a long time ago. What do you know? New things replaced it. Infatuations and things that I can't really say to you without touch and taste. Something about the nicotine and the taste of your lips reminds me why I'm still kicking. Oh yes, it's to see that look right there. Again and again and again.